Hello everyone, I am Elena Blanco. I was born in Cuba, but I am greeting you all from Chile on the southern hemisphere, where I spent half the year, the other half being spent in Vienna, Austria. I would now like to read for you my poem Waiting for Ulysses, which is on page 42 of the Mingled Voices 4 anthology. Waiting for Ulysses. Waiting for Ulysses is the title of a poem, a mode of pretending, a manner of discourse, not a matter of fact. It is a wink at Beckett, a bow to Cavafy, a laugh with Joyce, hardly a real laugh. We know how it all reads. No exit, lost illusions, dangerous relations. It is all but literature, and it is all literature, whereby we're done with waiting for, waiting out, waiting on, waiting by, and just plain waiting. Waiting for Ulysses, I am not waiting for Ulysses. He is coming to me, and no other gods are there to save him. He has some business pending here at Siren's Reef, having to do with cleansing his bad name, his bad habits, his bad breath, his bad karma. Sly of mind he is, haughty his tone, a tinge of red still on his hands. He'd better heed the call, thinks he reluctantly, lest he once more awaken the wrath of Zeus. Slightly distraught now, he hears voices. I am Circe, bent stark naked on catching the ideal husband. I bring you fantasies. Mad and drunk, you revel in my sultry night games. I am Nausicaa, secretly dreaming of the ideal husband. Chaste, I give you just a glance of me. You are enticed, but move on and bask in your own pleasure. I am Calypso, offering bed and board to the ideal husband. I charm you with my songs. You buy our wedded bliss. Later, get bored, long for Penelope. I am Penelope, waiting for the return of my ideal husband. I keep our vows, surrounded by my lovers. Distrustful, you come back in disguise. I am Athena. I say stop. And beware. A new Iliad has started. Paris was abducted by Helen. You are expected here at Siren's Reef at my behest. I'll give you 20 minutes to review the deeds of the last 20 years, to repent for 20+ centuries of your disastrous mankind, to reset your genes and reprogram your values and your valuables, to reprocess your words and speak to me, eye to eye, in the language of poetry.
Hi everyone, this is Aiden Heung. I'm living in Shanghai, and I'm a Chinese poet writing both in Chinese and English. And my poem is called A Stranger on the Street on page 82 of the Mingled Voices anthology. So here it is. A stranger on the street. He has been here since the time the city started to gentrify itself, bidding a hasty goodbye to its dubious past, when people still believed the idea of a home. 10 years maybe, or even longer. Man has to marvel at the amnesia, the new norm in this country, though mendacious like propaganda. We tend to forget about people under the wheels of a quickly moving forward history. I know him as the underbridge man who built his home under an overpass that hangs silently like a broken flute above the city's monotonous din. Maybe he could find peace there, a scroll of dirty sheets, a bag with a few winter coats, how he suffers the scorching summer, and a bowl to collect money with. He lives like a monk on offerings, but we, who are notoriously less trusting of the poor, do not really see him as he falls deeper and deeper into the shadow of the wall. We don't see many like him, especially inside the inner highway that surrounds the downtown like a polluted moat, staving off the unworthy who migrate every day like birds for the wheat field. What crumbs do they gather, what innocent money falls from the gracious hands of the rich? I can't tell. There must be another way of living, a harsher way that will bend most of us like a twig in winter, then snap us away to make room for the next generation of more practical men. He's there, under the overpass, hands stretching out like one thin bodhisattva man is afraid to look at. Sometimes 5 RMB, sometimes half a pack of cigarettes, sometimes children spit in his palms. I sit comfortably in the cafe, stories of 1,000 different lives might spill from my pen, but none about him. For literature pales at the thought of human sufferings. No words can sufficiently describe the force that twists our fate. I might be him one day, and he would sit inside this cafe, contemplating, affectedly, life's silent mockery. I have to give a proper ending to my writing, and to his reality as well, one that suits the current social climate. The weaponized teachings of the analytics, how this happens many times. I see the day when the God comes and whips him away like a rodent, his heart-rending cry, short of a flawless argument that saves. I, like most of my fellow brothers, only stand and watch.
Hello, this is Anne Casey in Sydney, Australia. I'm originally from the west of Ireland. This is my reversal eco poem from the Proverse Poetry Prize Anthology 2019, Mingled Voices 4. Either way, the fact remains. There is no way back. Therefore, we can no longer hold as irrefutable truth that every human heart has sufficient good at its core, that we could muster the collective will necessary to save our precious planet. There is no denying we are capable of taking the measures necessary for our own survival, to secure the future for us and the almost 9 million species around us. We could make the right choices. The fact remains that Earth cannot repair itself. There is no basis even from advanced satellite findings to show that Earth and all who dwell on her can survive the impacts of human activities. The greatest scientific minds of our time attest that the world's largest living structure, the Great Barrier Reef, is on path to certain destruction, that over 2,000 species from sea level to 2,000 meters deep are destined to perish. We can no longer support the assertion that there is always a way. There is a way to undo the damage we have done. Allowing that we make every effort to counter global excesses, the impact of human activities is irreversible. Although we may think that we can take action to fix this, we cannot deny the inevitability that not one of us can make a difference. Nature cannot heal itself. We can no longer lie to ourselves that this devastation can be reversed. Now I'll read each line from the bottom up. this devastation can be reversed. We can no longer lie to ourselves that nature cannot heal itself, that not one of us can make a difference. We cannot deny the inevitability that we can take action to fix this. Although we may think the impact of human activities is irreversible, allowing that we make every effort to counter global excesses, there is a way to undo the damage we have done. There is always a way. We can no longer support the assertion that over 2,000 species from sea level to 2,000 meters deep are destined to perish, that the world's largest living structure, the Great Barrier Reef, is on path to certain destruction. The greatest scientific minds of our time attest that Earth and all who dwell on her can survive the impacts of human activities. There is no basis, even from advanced satellite findings, to show that Earth cannot repair itself. The fact remains, we could make the right choices to secure the future for us and the almost 9 million species around us. We are capable of taking the measures necessary for our own survival. There is no denying that we could muster the collective will necessary to save our precious planet. Every human heart has sufficient good at its core. Therefore, we can no longer hold as irrefutable truth that there is no way back.
Hello to everyone. I am Carole Flake Chapman in Austin, Texas, and I'm reading this to you from the Hill Country in Central Texas. This is called Under the Blue Tarps. You could probably see them from space, the tarps that cover the broken rooftops, some from bombs, some from wind and fire, the patchworks of blue that pinpoint disaster. I've seen them filling in the blanks of the burnt orange tiles of Dubrovnik just after the siege, when the mortars left craters on the shining marble streets. They were everywhere in New Orleans, covering the holes where some escaped from attics, using axes and butcher knives as the waters rose and it was life or death. In the town of Paradise, they blanketed the smoking ruins of dreams and lives lost or interrupted, and what was left of the promise of always good weather. After fire, hurricane, tornado, or flood, they arrive as shelter from the storm, suggesting that camping isn't so bad and that the sound of rain on plastic is pleasing. If not anchored, the ends of the tarp flap madly like manta rays finding themselves on the beach, these inorganic, unlovely stand-ins for real cover, supposedly temporary, but often there till they rot. I imagine that someday we will all know that fake blue above our heads that flaps and fades in the sun as we lose the sense of safety we thought we held as the waters kept rising and the winds kept blowing.
Hello, I'm George Watt, speaking from Adelaide in South Australia. I'd like to read you my poem, Desire in Winter, in Memoriam. Conjure a sheet of ice, razor-thin, crystal clear, peer through air-bubbled runnels at a clean but distorted world. A flighty task, snatch a fistful of gale-blown cloud, weigh up its weightless grey. Or visit a bear in hibernation, feel her barely breathing, Darwin dormant in her long sleep. So too earthbound seeds, inert, yet dreaming of netted dragonfly wings and the golden pollen puffs at sunset. Pretending thus to toy with winter's wiles, this sad, phony Orpheus in dark-walled tunnels seeks your eye, peering through blocks of blue ice, listens for strains of your voice somewhere in a vast, lucent cavern, crystal strong. But a bendy bus belts me with mud. The leaf-laced wind whirls and snaps like a villain in an old cloak. In this Arctic presence, my ardent search for winter's heart thaws into desire for a warm bath and a fresh face.
Hello everyone, this is Joy Al-Sofi. I'm living in Hong Kong, but I'm American by birth. My poem is Alive, page 28 of the anthology Mingled Voices 4. Alive. You just don't know what it means to be alive till you see yourself reflected in the eyes of a Nile crocodile. Glittering green, you, in an agate eye, watching you, watching it. Look into the eyes of a Nile crocodile, knowing what it means to be alive.
My name is Liam Blackford. I'm an Australian living in Hong Kong. This poem is untitled. It was written in August in 2018. It has 6 stanzas. Each stanza has 6 lines, and each line has 6 syllables. All human processes can receive a structure to induce their meaning. How can technology assist us with this task, and has it helped so far? As cold begets the fire, the truth begets the news, the mass begets the niche. In a world in action, systems, in response to conditions, so emerge. Luxury generates relaxation at points and tension at others. Thus, it is like the truth, potent but dangerous, sought after but not grasped. To whom much is given, much is well expected. For whom the spoils are great, the taxes are greater. At whom light shines on high, a long shadow is cast. Violence is the midwife of new societies, by which heterodox becomes true orthodox, right and first and chosen, for friends and foes alike. In an advanced culture, today's models of art, media, politics, leisure, entertainment, and hospitality would need not to apply.
Hello, my name is Paola Caronni, I live in Hong Kong, and I'm Italian. My poem is titled Arboreal Witness and is at page 46 of Mingled Voices 4. Arboreal Witness. Your long arms, reassuring, maternal, staying with the white scales of time, give me a second welcome, as the sky blushes and covers the idle Irrawaddy with a pink field. A boat spits out loud crackles and marks with its passage the end of daily tasks. The banks are thirsty, you, immutable and prosperous, careful silent sentinel of an eternal valley, where spare red bricks crumble with the grumbling of the earth's belly. Pinnacles fell from the temple's roofs like Buddha's heads cut off and stolen, or past heroes betrayed by men in uniform, who sat down quietly to eat lapet under your weeping canopy. Every now and then a bride shows up, her eyes, like mine, turn to your branches, with the wish to untangle the thoughts you've captured from us. The train of a white dress bears the fragrance of something new and clean, and takes in the dead leaves that you dropped while blessing her footsteps.
My name is Helen Davis. I live in Hong Kong and I'm from Wales. My poem, The Sog, is on page 60 of Mingled Voices 4. The Sog. The grey comes down and takes you in. You have a sog. There. Everything descends into mud. Get up. Do what? Sog chokes and traps. How to release? What can you do about this sog thing once you have it? Chase it out. Call up your force. Go to the gym. Gain strength and size. Feed it chocolate. Gain weight and caffeinate. Have a G&T do. Try a night in Soho for 2. Find a partner for your triple cheese pizza. Run, 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 I do run, run. Do what you will, but you can't banish the sog. The sog is yours. Slink around it. Flow through it. Know it by its name. Sog! It's through you. You can forget about it, but it will bite you on the bum. Be warned. As your companion, it throws all into relief. For how to know your colours if you don't have the grey? You can have the lows, you can have the highs, so keep it. Don't ignore, don't feed it too much. No, it doesn't like fresh air, sunshine, or changes of scene, but it'll stay anyway. It doesn't like good friends, companionship, or conversation, but it will stick around, even as a dot on the horizon. Sog!
Hello everyone, my name is Neil Douglas. I'm British and I live in London, UK. My poem is called Nan Lian Garden and it's on page 62 of Mingled Voices 4. Nan Lian Garden. Where there are places for relaxation in the mundane world, there is no need to live as a recluse in the mountains. By Ju Yi. This garden is managed by the Department of Leisure and Cultural Services. Visitors are requested to abide by the rules for their own enjoyment and the safety of others. No boring or brawling, no frolicking or running, no carving of graffiti, no climbing on the rocks, no littering, hawking or touting, no drinking except water and the breastfeeding of babies, no eating unless within designated areas, no egg. No release of aquatic animals in the lotus pond, no bladed instruments including scissors, no nail clippers, no ceremonial swords or Swiss knives, no sighing, snorting, spitting or loud chewing of gum. No shampoo or non-prescription laxatives. No commercial or flash photography, no tripods, video shooting, self-shots or ringtones. The trees are black pine, Buddhist pine, cherry, orange, jasmine, silk, cotton, box, ash, fig, merle, elm. And the banyan grove is a cathedral in a concrete canyon, and the pagoda has no nails but timber tongues and grooves, and the windows have no steel, no glass. and the wood reeks of incense suffused by prayer, and the trees insulate the silence. We aspire to the aesthetic of truth in beauty. Visitors are requested not to wear clothes or any kind of costume that would disturb the serene ambience. Beneath vermilion bridges, the river flows east, and the gateway to heaven is carved with the sun. The gateway is carved with the moon. The lintel, the clouds, the rocks are ancient memory, the skeleton for what breathes and grows and curves and slopes and undulates. No feeding of fish or the snake. No playing with water or the snake. Do not pick the fruit. The roof is the sky, infinite, blue. The toilets adjacent to the pavilion of absolute perfection are inspected every hour, half an hour in bank holidays. Please keep off the grass.
Hello everyone, this is Ahmed Elbeshlawy, living in Hong Kong, Egyptian by birth. My poem is The Message of the Music, page 70 of the anthology Mingled Voices 4. The Message of the Music. And so plays on the quartet. Civilized and attentive, the audience are transported through music to other worlds. I'm fixated on the girl with the bushy flaxen hair in the fifth row. Music makes people look more beautiful, like red wine. The problem is I have to smile and be nice yet blithe. I must seduce her. But that isn't the message of the music we're hearing. The message is to go there, grab that bushy flaxen hair, pull her head up in the air, whisper in her ear the vicious thoughts I'm having. And so plays on the quartet. Civilized and attentive, the audience are transported through music to other worlds.
Hello, I'm Susan Lavender. I'm Anglo-Italian by birth. My poem, Spill Those Beans, is on page 102 of Mingled Voices 4. Spill those beans. All my loves have been unrequited, country, family, and bitterly, yes, the stage. But there's one friend by whom I'm always invited, who can pull me out of my cage, who's always there for me whenever I feel blighted, and that's all the time, helping me turn even life's most difficult page. You get me up in the morning, and putting depression aside, my fears you assuage. You revive me when over work I'm yawning, just by pouring. How can Switzerland say you're not essential to life? Don't give me that strife. You make me face the day. What more can I say? Though you're just addiction and can't replace treading the boards, nor fill that hole in my heart made by unrequited love's swords. Cappuccino, espresso, macchiato, corretto, coffee. At least you are always perfetto.
Hi, my name is Jun Pan. I'm Chinese by birth. I'm recording this video in Binghamton, the United States. And I'm going to read my poem, We Are Plastic, The Tempest, page 119 of the anthology. We are plastic, the tempest. Human brains are plastic. Human activities shape the development of human brains. Chapman. With shining dresses, name and fame, you landed to the soil that you have so many questions about. Curious Mute. We thought you were just curious. Till one day, you started to yell, shout, and lose control, spreading your fury to every corner of the room. Jealous Mute. I thought you were just jealous. It was only a prelude. We were born to the world with our brains, shaped by our experience, people we think important to us, and even the temperature. We love, hate, and envy others who molded our temper, character, and identity. Harmony, happiness, and humanity last for a glimpse of time. There is no chance for you to mourn the loss of a normal human relationship. We are plastic. Human relationship is plastic. In the hustle and bustle of this vulgarity, we, sculptures chiseled by nature and culture, follow the rules to survive and gradually lose ourselves. Under the glories of tuxedos and evening gowns, craziness and madness blow up a game of golf. After the gale of chaos, it becomes clear to me that goodness is not yesterday's grief, but a religion that we hold on to as belief.
Hi everyone, I'm Hayley Solomon from Blenheim, New Zealand, and I'll be reading The Butterfly Effect, one of my poems in the Proverse Anthology Mingled Voices 4, and this is found on page 150. The Butterfly Effect. I heard the wings of butterfly on a day still soft with heat, when my heart was wholly open, and my soul in soul's retreat. So soft the sound, so simple, soft and sweet, I swear I heard it shimmer, though sound and light don't meet. Yet the simple hush of butterfly, all a tremble in still air, caused rushing rains in Jinju, high thermal winds to flare. The smallest act has consequence, trajectories change with thought, and plastic sipped or ripped, or torn or shipped, brings death, a lingering death, hard wrought. Wrappings, laminates, careless bags and straws are the flapping wings of butterfly in the universe of laws. Ah, immortal gods of plastic, created by your serfs, we knew not what we did when we brought you to this earth. Worthless, you serve us once, then laugh. We bin, we bury, abandon you, then full incur your wrath. With a butterfly flutter, we made you immortal. Now you refuse to die and the storm is coming. Fish squirm, you choke them with your spite. In nets and seas and fins and throats, the world, our world, has no respite. We have set our trajectory, and unless we are open to alternatives, mitigate our mistakes, we will die and you will be eternal. O plastic gods on thrones of junk piled high.
Hello, good evening. This is Luisa Ternau. I'm going to read my poem Out of Their Cage, which you can find on page 157 of the anthology Mingled Voices 4. Out of their cage, quivering lights, waiting for the night to bloom, budding dreams of birds just released from their cage. The stars have not come yet. Some clouds are lingering in their luminous direction. The birds in fear of darkness are hopping back inside. At dawn, every door will be ready to snap. The victims will still be asleep, dreaming at dance, trading on the clouds, their thoughts still looking for the unborn stars.
Hi, I'm Anson from Hong Kong, and I'd like to read my poem, 3 Goldfishes. It's on page 170. 3 goldfishes walked to the sea to lie down in a hole unknown. 3 goldfishes lay down in the hole unknown to feel tears of the sea unbound. 3 goldfishes felt tears of the sea unbound to flood in the hole unaware. The sea saw 3 fishes come near, swallowing them in finding a cure.
Congratulations to the place winners, those specially mentioned, and all poets who've won 1 or more places in Mingled Voices 4, Proverse Poetry Prize Anthology 2019. Many thanks to those who sent a video. I'm sure we all enjoyed them. As you heard, most wrote on their own choice of subject, although some found the subject suggested by us plastic, provocative and useful. The range of topics, forms, moods, styles and tones in the poems you've just heard is typical of the anthology as a whole. All the poems published there are interesting and enjoyable to read, and we hope all of you will get hold of a copy and do your best to give some feedback to the poets, or to us, Gillian and Verna Bickley, or to Proverse Hong Kong, prize administrators and publishers. Keep well.
The Proverse Spring Reception 2020 online is ending. Thank you for joining us. We believe the authors and poets you have heard cannot fail to have won your interest. They certainly have won ours. Do support them and all those whose work has been launched this evening, whether a book or a single poem, by reading and commenting on their work. We hope you will join us at the Proverse Autumn Reception on the 19th of November this year, whether at a physical venue or online as now. In the meantime, keep well and read or write poems and books. Keep in touch.